I just talk to God like God is my business partner and my best friend and my guide, and I ask for guidance. And then what I do is I focus my attention on my inner, in my gut, okay, in my, around the area between my heart and my belly button. Inside, it's like that inner knowing that we all have, that gut feeling, that sense that we get, and that's where I put my attention, is on that part of myself when I'm asking God questions, and that's, part of the problem for I think everybody is that we've got so much on our plates these days that people say to me, I just can't possibly meditate. I don't have enough time. But you can turn the radio off in the car on the ride home. Usually traffic is thick, so you're not driving 60 miles an hour. You're going slow. When you take your shower in the morning, just talk to God. Ask God, is there something I should know about today? Is there anything you want me to pay particular attention to? I need some guidance today. And then our job is to just listen and pay attention to that intuitive sense that we get. There are ways to shut out the world, and even if it's just for 10 minutes each day, what happens is that every time we do it, we get more mellow, and we start to really feel connection with the universe, and it feels really good to be in that space. So then we want more of it, and that's, it just slowly keeps happening.
Easier to hear that faint inner voice, I would think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, like my minister said to me one time, I was going through one of my trials, and I was very upset because God wasn't talking to me. And I said to my minister, I keep talking to God, and God's not talking back to me. And he said, God doesn't yell, God whispers. And that just made me madder, because it's like, well, I don't want to calm down. I don't want to wait for him to whisper. But then I thought, see, there's another good thing, because then I have to calm down, and that's how I'm going to hear him. And so I know there's always good in something.
You're a healer, and you've helped a lot of people in the healing process, but you've had your own health challenges, including a stroke. Do you have any doubt you could come all the way back from that?
When I was going through those first 3 days in the hospital, I was pretty scared. To tell you the truth, I don't think I did think that I was going to come back. Of course, there was another part of me, though, that was just like, well, of course I'm going to be normal. Of course. But, when you're looking at a picture, I remember the lady would hold up a picture of, like, a boat, and she, the test was, what is this? And my mind, I could hear my mind say boat, but out of my mouth would come the word ketchup, and I'd think, okay, what happened there? And it was like my brain was totally misfiring, and then when I would try to walk, I kept walking off to the right into the walls, and so I had my doubt. I did. And then what happened was here at one of our hospitals that I was at, they have healers on staff, and I asked if I could be visited by a healer, and so they came up and worked on me for 2 or 3 days, and I was fine by the end of the week.
Intuition is a guiding light in your day. You run decisions past your intuitive consultant, and you say we can all develop our intuition. How can we distinguish intuitive messages from basic mind chatter?
You know what? The best way is pay attention to where the thoughts are coming. Now, is it in your head? Is it thoughts that you're getting? Then that's mind chatter. Is it a feeling in your gut? Men refer to their intuition as their gut. No, my gut just says this is what we got to do. And women will say, I just know this is what we're supposed to do. Okay? So women use the word knowing, and men use the word gut feeling. So it's a matter of paying attention to what part of our body is the information coming to. And that's how we can tell if it's our intuition or not.
And you mentioned men having intuition. I've talked to a lot of guys about this, and they give me that wide-eyed look. Well, that's a girl's thing. Everybody has the ability to develop their intuition, don't they?
Yes, yes. Every human being and every living being, animals, they call it their instincts. We all have intuition, every one of us. And I have come to believe that that still small voice inside of us is the voice of God, and that it's always giving us guidance. And, today is a perfect example of the confusion we can go through. This morning before the snow started here in Minnesota, I said to my intuition, okay, before the storm even hits today, I want to know, should we or shouldn't we cancel class tonight? And the feeling, there was a really calm feeling in my inner voice. And so I said, okay, all right, it feels like we're supposed to go ahead with class. Now, what's interesting is here we are, 5-6 hours later, it's snowing like crazy outside, and now my head is getting in the way, and my head is saying, well, yeah, but, what about this and what about that? And that's the big problem that we have when it comes to listening to that inner voice, is that our intellect thinks it knows what's best. And so for a day like this, it can be challenging to stay out of your head and continue to focus on that inner voice, but we all have it, and we can all do it.
I've saved for the last point. I'm guessing this is among the most controversial in your book. The role of Jesus in your life. In a predominantly Christian country, we're told that Jesus is the Son of God. You see Jesus as a Son of God. Can you explain that distinction?
Yeah, as a little girl, I used to get very, what? People would say that Jesus was the Son of God. And then you would hear that we are all children of God. So I'd think, okay, now wait a minute. If we're children of God, and Jesus was the Son of God, then that means we're all brothers and sisters. And some people just look at me and they get so frustrated with me. It's like, Echo, you can't talk like that. I go, well, okay. Let me run this by my brain again. Okay, he's the Son of God. We are sons and daughters of God. We are children of God. We're all brothers and sisters. And that's, it's that simple in my mind, that we are all sons and daughters of God. And that, in my mind, Jesus came here to show us how to live our lives. It's not all about the death of Jesus on the cross. It's about Jesus coming here and teaching us how to live our lives and to find God and to live by that still small voice. So I always think of him as my older brother who came here to show me and everybody else how to live our lives.
And the name, or what most people think is the name Christ, is not a Smith or Jones type of a surname. Christ is a concept.
Christ is totally a concept. It is not, Jesus' last name is not Christ. It's Jesus the Christ. And I believe that that's what he came here to show us, is that we all have that Christ part within each of us. Because we come from God, because we are made in the image and the likeness of God, that means that we have God. We are a part of God. We are, as my minister says, we are how God gets around. And, I think it's going to take a long time for people to really acknowledge that or even get into that, because what I've become aware of is people don't want to know that they've got that much power, or that they're that capable, or they have that deep of a potential. People like to make it about him and that he came to save the world, and it's really unfortunate. But I hope at some point religion starts to get this turned around a little bit more so that they can start empowering people rather than taking power away from us.
All right, and on that note, we'll stop there. Thank you, Echo. Take care and have a great New Year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Echo Bodine. The book is Look for the Good and You'll Find God, the spiritual journey of a psychic and healer, from New World Library. And find out what Echo's up to, and it's a lot, at www.echobodine.com. That's it for now. Thanks for being with us on Chi for Yourself. I'm Gio. I'll talk to you soon.